Okay, another short and stupid one. We're going to play two games. On the left column, how many facts about the Harry Potter universe he can get wrong? So HPU. And how many names in the Harry Potter universe he can actually get right? HPN. So play along with me. Grab your pens and papers and pencils and scruples and everything else. How do I use the mouse and where my pen's in the way? Steve, you're complicating me. Complicated!
England. And what they did was they actually changed the cover because the British people were putting up an uproar, and they said that they didn't want that cover on their book.
Nobody ever said that. It doesn't belong in any column.
Because these right here, where you see the diamond shapes, were actually pentagrams.
Diamonds are pentagrams. That's not a fact, but there's no column for that. Can we just put a BS column in the middle? That's 2 BS points so far.
And so there was something about that that allowed the British people to see there was something wrong about it.
Wrong?
The other thing is that the very first book was called Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Oh, you got one
Then
right.
all of a sudden they changed it to Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. And now, if you'll look at there, you'll see all kinds of symbology. Take a look at Harry Potter.
This is
Okay.
boring.
So Harry Potter and the in a car accident.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
And who's a 12-year-old
Start from here. Right.
riding on a broomstick. And the premise of the story is this. Harry Potter is a boy who's a 12-year-old who his parents are killed in a car accident.
Wrong. They were killed by Lord Voldemort. Take your headphones off. That's 1 point.
And Harry survives that
He didn't survive a car crash. That's another point.
car accident. He was with his parents at a
He wasn't with his parents. That's another point.
very, very, very young age. And now he's
Wasn't he like 6 months old? 1 year. Probably. Yeah, 1 year.
an orphan, and he's sent over to England to live
He was not sent over to England because he already lived in England. That's another point.
with his aunt and uncle, who are horrible to him. In fact, they treat him like a nobody. Well, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to read for you right off the book itself.
You can read? Give you a tick somewhere for that, mate. Okay, get ready for the third column.
There he finds not only friends, aerial sports, and magic around every corner, but a great destiny that's been awaiting him, if Harry can survive the encounter.
What encounter? What encounter?
Now, Harry is a nobody. He's living
Sorry,
with
that was off the book. I still don't understand that one, but no points anywhere.
his aunt and uncle, the Dursleys, and they have an abominable son named Dudley.
Abominable. Can you say it with me? Philology.
And Dudley treats him like he's an outcast, doesn't accept him in part of the family at all. But Harry knows there's something about him that's very special. And he receives an invitation in the book. He receives an invitation by a giant that comes knocking on the door one day.
Well, he's a quarter giant. Give him, won't take any marks off. He's doing as best he can. He hasn't read any of the books or seen any of the movies, so he's doing pretty good for that.
And Harry opens up the door, and the giant
No, he doesn't open up the door in the lighthouse.
invitation by a giant.
Hang on. This is where he goes off the rails.
But Harry knows there's something about him that's very special.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't believe he's special at all, apart from the snake thing. But no, he's not special in his own mind. He's a nobody. Yeah.
And he receives an invitation in the book. He receives an invitation by a giant.
Well, Hagrid hands him the letter. Okay, yeah.
That comes knocking on the door one
He doesn't knock on the door. At one point, he bashes the door down.
day. And Harry opens up the door, and
Harry doesn't open up the door because the door is lying on the ground. Another point.
The giant has a message for him in the form of a letter. And you
Can't you say Hagrid's name once? He doesn't know. He doesn't know. Okay, sorry.
know what? It's an invitation that he join something.
This is it.
You know what that is?
No, because you...
Hogwarts School. It's an invitation that he join something. You know what that is? Hogwarts School of Wizardry and Witchcraft.
So Hogwarts is the real life, real world school of wizardry and witchcraft. Hogwarts is only in the Harry Potter universe. So we'll give us a point for that. Hogwarts. Oh, this is the right column. Sorry, that's a point for the right column. So we're only 2. We're only up to 7 on the left. Okay. Hogwarts. That's a brilliant school, by the way. Where is it?
And so Harry thinks, gee, why did I receive this invitation? I must be important. I must be special.
He's never had a letter in his life. That was the amazing part.
And so Harry runs off from his aunt and uncle's home.
No. I've forgotten Hagrid's name for a second. Hagrid actually flies him to Hogwarts. To Diagon Alley, actually, to be more precise. Yeah.
He jumps aboard a train.
No, he's on Hagrid's Mr. Weasley's scooter that he gave to Hagrid. There's just too many mistakes. I can't handle mistakes.
And he goes to Hogwarts School of Wizardry and Witchcraft.
Which is next to Hogwarts. If you can't graduate at Hogwarts, or you can't get into Hogwarts, you go to Hagwarts instead. So that's 2.
Where he learns how to cast spells, how to summon spirits, how to do hexes.
How to do hexes. Not in the book, so that's another point for us.
How to form symbols.
How to form symbols. Nope, that's an extra point for us.
And you know what? So does your child.
Okay, so a child can learn how to do Leviosa. That's another point for us.
Because as I said before, the things that are in this book are in actual witchcraft books.
Another point for us. So you're saying, Steve, that actual witches, and this is what pisses me off, you witches out there, they play Quidditch, they transfigure rats into cups, they make potions, and all the other cool stuff, and they're not telling anyone. It's like there's a secret society of witches on Earth in the real world, according to him, that disapparate. So during lockdown, they didn't have to leave the house. They could just disapparate to another country for a visit, for a holiday. Now, you should inform, Steve, you need to inform the governments around the world that there are witches disapparating from country to country during lockdown, and that's probably helping to spread the virus. Are you aware of this, Stephen?
This is in the form of a children's book.
As opposed to the grown-up book of disfiguration, transfiguration. Okay?
And you know what gives Harry his specialty? Harry was born, he was special, and he wonders why he receives that invitation.
No, he was shocked, but yeah, curious. Yes, okay, don't nitpick.
And Hogwarts begins to tell him,
Hogwarts! Hogwarts! Who the hell is Hogwarts? I forgot. It's been a while since I watched this. He calls Hagrid Hogwarts. So you've got Hagrid, and you've got Hagrid's invisible twin brother or sister, Hagrid. What was it? Hagrid? No, Hogwarts. What? What's his sister's name?
he was special, and he wonders why he receives that invitation. And Hogwarts begins to...
Hogwarts. So the question for 200, what is the name of Hagrid's invisible sister? And the answer is Hogwarts. Another point for us.
To tell him why he was so special enough to receive the invitation to join his school. He tells Harry that Harry was in that accident.
Hagrid would never lie to Harry. You idiot. You idiot.
And that accident, by the way, the accident that killed his parents was a form of a lightning bolt coming.
So, another point for us first. So, breathe. Lord Voldemort did not Avada Kedavra his parents in the house. He Avada Kedavra'd them in their car that they were driving around in with a lightning bolt. There is, people, there's a special one-off edition of the Philosopher's Stone that he's got a hold of, which has a totally different story in it. How can you... They don't read the books. He's never touched, well, apart from the one he just picked up, he's never opened the book to read the words. God, this is awful.
Coming down and destroying the car that they...
So, his parents are killed in the car. Right. I'll take another point for that. That's just being stupid.
were in. Blowing it up.
The car blew up. Don't stop at every single mistake.
But Harry survived. But
So Harry survived a car crash. This is just stupid.
he was also born and received from that accident a particular scar on his forehead.
So the Avada Kedavra that blew up the car also landed on Harry's forehead. I wish I knew what drugs you were on.
Look here.
That's another point.
That's
Yeah.
the scar right there on his forehead. Do you know what it is? A purple lightning bolt
It's red, but we won't pick.
on his forehead.
Maybe in his universe it has to be purple because that represents the LGBTQIA community. That would be his line of thinking. Yep, I'm with you, Steve.
So now that's what makes him special, because with Harry...
The scar is what makes him special, not the magic. Oh, that's another point for us.
His purple scar on his head, he now has psychic abilities.
He has psychic abilities. Nope, another point for us.
And he's able to do things that other people aren't able to do. And he knows things that other people shouldn't know. He knew things before, but he didn't know why. And now he's seen as very special. And you notice how that appeals to the child, because now the child begins to identify with Harry, want to run away. So he starts associating with Harry, because that guy did a wizard too. The thing about it is that now a lot of parents are starting to read these books to their children.
Oh,
and now they're
no.
even getting into the story of Harry Potter.
How could you?
I'll tell you a true story. I was on the plane to Dallas.
You're going to tell a true story. This I doubt. Coming from you, I doubt this very, very much. Actually, this is Stan Johnson's story from the other prophecy club, 2 years in the future after this. So I think he shaved his satanic goatee off to look less evil because he would have scared the Christians in his meetings. Not that there'd be any non-Christians there. There wouldn't be any non-King James Version onlyists in these meetings, so pretty safe. Yeah.
It's kind of a funny story, because, I mean, this is actually true.
It's
Twin engine plane.
actually true. I
And they
highly
I better
doubt
go
anything
younger lady,
you
pop the
say.
book. And I kept playing. Finally, the crew came in, look at the book. I kept trying to look. Christy, she got out, and she got ready to take. I raise up and look down. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
A 20-year-old was reading Harry Potter. It's evil.
And it was amazing, this book. But the parents are too, so far on the tour.
Don't care.
Required reading.
Aww.
And you sit there and you go, what in the book? Little Sally has never shown any interest in any kind of literature at all. I'm going to begin to identify with Harry.
Children reading books now. That's evil. Hey, Steve, you know what else is a book? The Bible. You're just jealous that more kids read Harry Potter than they do the Bible. Oh, what's the world coming to?
And look and see if you see other symbols in here.
They only exist in your imagination, so people can't read your mind, Steve. That's what you're not understanding here.
Now, this is more of a blown up. On the hardback book, it actually shows it better. And the stars on this,
the stars, which are diamonds with you,
are actually inverted.
So those diamonds are inverted stars, right? Oh, sorry, that's 2 points for the bullshit meter.
The stars on this are actually inverted. So what it means is that it shows satanic symbols right there on the cover of the book. And you think that's by coincidence?
No.
Parents' murder was caused by an evil wizard called Lord Voldemort.
Voldemort, that's 1 more point. So Lord Voldemort is Voldemort's grandfather. That's what I believe. Voldemort is the descendant of Lord Voldemort. Right.
And Lord Voldemort...
Lord Voldemort. Monty Python?
Now is after Harry, because Harry is destined to become a very powerful wizard.
Yeah.
And Lord Voldemort wants to be the very best powerful wizard.
Voldemort. I can't get over this, sorry. I can't think properly.
And he hoped at the time when he destroyed his parents, Harry's parents, that he would also destroy Harry too, so that he didn't reach his destiny.
He was killing witches and wizards left, right, and center. He didn't...
But now that he finds out that Harry is right there at the school and learning these things, and that he's destined to become a very powerful wizard, all Lord Voldemort wants to do now is destroy Harry.
So is it Voldemort that's in the forest, or is it Voldemort? Again, like Hogwarts is Hagrid's twin sister. Voldemort is Voldemort's good side? That would be cool. We should write a story about this. The Stephen Dollins world version of Harry Potter.
Now it becomes exciting. Now your child can't wait for the next book.
Because they want to hear about the adventures of Voldemort.
Because is Harry going to survive? Is Harry going to find out his destiny? Is he ever going to reach his destiny? What's going to happen to poor Harry? What's going to happen to all the friends that Harry's met?
What? You mean Hermione and Groin and his older brother Pisces?
By the way, at the school of Hogwarts Wizardry and Witchcraft,
Hogwarts. Yeah, we'll get used to his version.
Harry's friends are all witches.
Especially Hermione and Donald.
And wizards. And in the book, there's a message that goes out to your child. You know what that is? That the witches are the good guys. The parents are the bad guys.
Ah.
Portraying us, and I mean Christian parents, to look like we're a bunch of fools. That we are cruel, and that our rules are too strict. And now Harry is treated with his best family, and his best family now are witches. Practicing witches. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
And again, now your child begins to really identify with it, and it gets exciting.
They identify. Shh. They identify.
Now I want to read to you what she states. meaning J.K. Rowling. Here's what she actually
He
states.
got her name
In
right.
that
He got her
same
name right.
interview, here's what she says, and I think this gives it away. She says, the idea that we could have a child who escapes from the confines of the adult world and go somewhere where he has power, both literally and metaphorically, really appealed to me. And you know what? It also appeals to your child. Because how many times has your child, have you ever asked your child, am I too strict? Do we have too many rules around here? You know what their first words are going to be. Yes, you do.
Hogwarts had very... Sorry. Hogwarts had very strict rules.
You know, that's their first reaction. You sure do. And how many of us can identify when we were kids? We all reached that point where we wanted to run away. We thought there might be something better. And that starts to really get into your child's psyche, in other words, their mind, and starts to implant an idea. And that idea is that you can be a Harry Potter, you can be important, you can be special. All you need to do is become...
I quit. I can't carry on. I have to say this. I just have to say this. Join me. Join me on the continuing adventures of Perry Hotter and his friend the giant Hogwarts. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.